Hey everyone, our topic of discussion today is going to be all about goal setting. Through these times, it probably has been pretty challenging to set fitness goals and keep track of those goals. So in this video, Coach Kristin White and I are going to break down ways you can still accomplish those goals even under these uncertain circumstances. When it comes to goal setting, it's important that we are setting goals using the acronym SMART, which is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. So let's say we want to do 50 push-ups without stopping. That's going to be our specific goal. If I said I just want to do 50 push-ups, I could do 50 push-ups in a day, a week, a year, etc. So saying without stopping allows us to be a little bit more specific of when we want to do those 50 push-ups. Measurable goals is where we are going to assess our progress. So going back to the 50 push-ups without stopping, every 2 weeks I may want to say how many push-ups I want to do without stopping. So how many I can do. 1 week it may be 10 without stopping, 1 week it may be 20 without stopping. Achievable goals is finding ways to get closer and closer towards your goal. So in a bit I'm going to elaborate on this a little more. Realistic is being able to see if this goal is relevant to you. If I have poor upper body strength and endurance and I want to see it improve over time, then doing 50 push-ups without stopping can be a realistic goal. Finally, time-based goals revolve around the time period you're going to work towards your goal. So for my example, in 4 months, I will be able to do 50 push-ups without stopping. So that's setting a time-based goal. When we talk about outcome goals, this is what we want at the finish line of our marathon. This is everything we are working for coming together. When we talk about behavior goals, these are things that we can control to get our outcome. Let's say we want to maintain our weight for as long as we are in our homes during this quarantine. When it comes to fitness, what we could do is practice a resistance training program like a fundamental fitness program for 2 weeks, and then following the 2 weeks, we could practice walking the dog or any pet for 30 minutes a day. After a 4-week process, we can then look back and see what worked in these 4 weeks and what didn't work, and then make adjustments for the next 4 weeks to come.
Hey guys, Coach Kristin here, just following up on Jason's talk with you about what kinds of goals to be setting during this quarantine. He talked with you a bit about behavior over outcome goals. I'm going to talk with you about approach over avoid goals and also mastery over performance goals. And I'm going to use the same example that he gave regarding wanting to maintain, if not lose weight during this quarantine. So an avoid goal, this is something that you do not want to do. You want to avoid it. It's very restrictive. For example, after my next stressful Zoom meeting, don't go to the pantry and raid that package of Oreos that I bought. Or after this 3rd consecutive episode of Tiger King that I've been watching, don't watch a 4th one and then a 5th one and then a 6th one. So the issue with these kinds of goals is that they are psychologically counterproductive. In other words, when you're told not to do something, you tend to want to do it that much more, and it's really hard not to focus on that. Worse, you feel like a failure when you're unable to comply. Instead, I encourage you to set approach goals. These are things that you want to do, things that help you feel successful and inspired on your journey toward your outcome goal. For example, maybe setting a Post-it note by your computer that reads, "Take 3 deep breaths and a big drink of water." So that when you get done with that next stressful Zoom meeting, instead of focusing on not going to the pantry and thinking so much about those Oreos, you turn into your Post-it note and you read what to do, taking 3 deep breaths and a drink of water. Or when you go to watch Tiger King tonight, you tell yourself, okay, after 3 consecutive episodes, I'm going to get up, I'm going to walk my dogs around the block for 15 minutes. That way you're focused on what to do after watching 3 episodes instead of what not to do, i.e. watch 4th, 5th, and 6th episode. There are also mastery and performance goals. Performance goals are very similar to outcome goals, except that they involve some kind of external validation, like winning a prize, getting a trophy, beating a record, winning a competition, coming in first place in a race, something like that. So in the example of wanting to maintain or lose weight during this quarantine, maybe you find a weight loss challenge on Facebook or Instagram, or a 30-day challenge or something like that, and you're focusing on winning that. That becomes your performance goal. I'm going to win this challenge. Nothing inherently wrong with that, but just focusing on winning something is not very effective. Instead, I encourage you to set mastery goals. Mastery goals involve developing skills that you get really, really good at that help you towards your performance goal. So for example, with a weight loss goal, maybe you need to master an exercise routine, get really consistent with a workout routine. Or you need to incorporate healthy eating into your daily life consistently. So mastering the skills that will help you eat better, or mastering the skills that will help you exercise regularly, that will help you with your performance goal.
So a good way to keep your goals organized is by writing them out and keeping them somewhere safe and where you can see it. So to start, we're going to have our overall goal, so maintaining or losing weight, at the top, because that's going to be our main goal. We can now go into our approach goals or skills that we want to develop over a month-long period. So using awareness of technology use could be a good approach goal to get to my main goal. Then we could start going into some behavioral goals, such as taking water breaks after meetings, like Kristin said, or walking the dog after 3 shows that you're watching on Netflix. So those are 2 types of practices that you can use towards your approach goal, which can then help to your overall goal. Once we feel we've mastered our skill in the first month, when we do our approach goals and our behavioral goals, we could then start coming up with new approaches and new behaviors for the next upcoming month. This is how we keep our goals organized, as well as keeping track of them and making adjustments along the way to reach our overall goal.